Here we are again. The continuation of the video with the ultrasonic welding. What will happen if we connect various components to the ultrasonic welding electrodes? And I will start with the multimeter. I will set it to see what happens if I measure voltage on the ultrasonic welding electrodes. So I connect the multimeter, and nothing happened, guys. It just measures the voltage normally at the welding output. We see that it outputs 65 V. This specific welding machine is an inverter. The current it produces is direct current. The voltage is 65 V, in contrast to the older ones, which were built from a simple transformer inside. And they operated on alternating current, so they took 220 VAC and output their external alternating current at around 30 V. And they were also heavier because they had large ball bearings inside. And here now we actually have an inverter with a pulse power supply inside. A power supply with constant voltage, around 60 and many amps. It can provide a high current, so it behaves like a power supply. If we connect one component each, they will work as if we connect them to a power supply. If we put a bulb, it will light up. And generally, if we connect a device that operates at 60 V, they will work as if connected to a power supply. Let's go see. That means if we put a bulb with resistors connected, and generally, what will it do? I will connect a resistor on top, a few kilo-ohms, and the clutch will slip. We see it does nothing. If you have watched the video I made with the BER measurements, you will understand that it doesn't matter how many BER a source can produce, but depending on the load, how many BER will pass through it. That is, the number of amps passing is determined by the load. So let me put an ammeter on this circuit to see what it shows us. I see that no matter how much I increase the amps, it doesn't show anything. Because I set it to 10 amps to measure, that's too much. I'll set it to milliamps to see it better. And here we see that it draws current, 0.21 milliamperes. 0.2 like this, it is with decacoulomb. The resistance, only 0.2 amperes can pass from this current, no matter how much the MA increase in welding. So let's use a smaller resistor. Let's see what will happen. I have sent a smaller one, and I see here it is drawing now 9.23 milliamperes. So the smaller the resistance, the more current it will draw. Let me now add a resistor that is a few ohms. 1 ohm. I will put this resistor on now. Logic says that you will burn it out, of course, because I have too many amps. All the amps will pass through the 1 ohm resistor. You'll see it immediately. You see here, it will spark and simply burn it. It won't do any sudden stops, that is. It will just let the amps pass through momentarily and offer resistance. So, I will measure it for you now, so you can see what has happened. It hasn't completely shown resistance. It has changed. Its resistance has increased a lot. This also happens in many repairs we do. In other words, we have some faults where the resistors have not burned out completely. Their resistance has changed, and they cause problems in the devices. You see here now it has reached Sun omega. You see it was at E omega, probably from 0.1 where it was before. It reached the kilos. So in case of faults, we also check the color code on the resistors to ensure the measurements we take are correct. So that's what we had for today. I will also include in the description below the videos showing the multimeter measurements to recall them for anyone who wants to review them or hasn't seen them yet. And to mention some who ask me why I am involved with a welding machine, that it is also an electronic device. So if it has an electronic failure, it will be sent for repair. It has all the characteristics of a power supply, so it is also part of our work. Well, all the best to everyone, good results and successful experiments. Cheers.